way. Whereas if you are depending on a good job and an economy that's growing for everybody, then no one is your master. You are your own master. And I think that's the vision of this country that we should have, is that every single person controls their own destiny, writes their own ticket. But look, you know, you mentioned absolutely, Breathitt County, Kentucky is one of the poorest counties in the entire United States of America. We've seen a lot of economic opportunity decline in places like Breathitt County and places like Western Pennsylvania. Why? Well, for a whole host of stupid policies that our leaders have put in place. I mean, you have a president, Kamala Harris, she's the acting president, I guess, because we all know Joe Biden isn't home. But acting President Kamala Harris, who would rather buy oil and gas from Iran and Russia, tin-pot dictators all over the world, than from energy workers right here in Western PA. Let's buy it from our own people. We got plenty of it in Western Pennsylvania. Let's allow these guys to get it out of the ground. But when you do that and you create economic opportunity for people, you bring down the cost of manufacturing, you make it easier for moms and dads to heat their homes on a cold winter night, you create the kind of prosperity and the kind of independence that we want to create. When you destroy economic opportunity, you fundamentally are creating people who are not able to stand on their own 2 feet. That's not what any of us want. I want everybody to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, but they're not going to be able to do it if Kamala Harris is dedicated to destroying the energy and manufacturing economy of Western Pennsylvania and the whole country. And that's what she's done. Final point I want to say on this is, look, Kamala Harris has fallen in love with the green economy. You hear her talk about it all the time. It's the entire foundation of their economic policy agenda. What did Kamala Harris cast the deciding vote to do? To ship a lot of American tax dollars to buy electric vehicles that are made in China. Why don't we keep American tax dollars here at home? Why don't we build factories here in the United States of America? And if we're going to subsidize anything, let's subsidize the products that are built and made in America, not in communist China. Thank you all. That's right. That's exactly right. You ought to be up here answering questions, sir. Any other PA reporters? Then we'll do a couple nationals too. Yes, sir.
Sorry, I'm Ryan. I'm with the Pittsburgh Tribune Review. Just kind of wondering, can you maybe elaborate a little bit more on some of the benefits or policies that would benefit, veterans here, and maybe how that contrasts with your opponent?
Yeah, well, look, the first and most important thing is we all love the VA here, and 90%, 95% of the people who work at the VA are really good and solid people. But if you have people, and every bunch has a few bad apples, who are not doing their job, who are not responding to veterans' phone calls, you've got to be able to fire those people because they drag down the many good employees at the VA. One of the things, thank you, but one of the things that President Trump did is he made the VA more efficient by empowering the people who were doing the good jobs and disempowering and sometimes firing the people who weren't doing good by our veterans. You've got to do that to make the VA actually function. You can't have any agency that can't serve its own people, and the way to do that is to make sure it has the highest quality people. We want the highest quality people in the VA. We've got a lot of them. We ought to promote them, give them benefits, give them raises. The people who aren't doing their job, they ought to get out and do something else. That's number one. The second thing is look, I was in the Marine Corps from 03 to 07, so I remember when I got out of the Marines, and the VA was my main source of health care for at least a few years. The main complaint that you heard back then from veterans was, we just don't have enough choices, especially if you're in a rural area where the closest hospital is an hour and a half away, the closest VA medical center is an hour and a half away. You've got to give those people choice to get health care in their local communities. Donald Trump accomplished that in a big and profound way. He gave veterans choice, and Kamala Harris has been trying to undo it. In fact, Tim Walz, the person she selected because he was a veteran, to say nothing about his service record, Tim Walz actually opposed the legislation that gave veterans more access to health care, more choice in their health care. I think we ought to be giving veterans more choice in their health care, and if we do, that's how we stay faithful to the promises we made to them.